You want to know the worst possible outcome for 2028? Tucker Carlson runs on an anti-Israel platform in 2028, and the Democrats put forward a pro-liberal Zionist, pro-defending America's military might candidate. Tucker Carlson wins by Ronald Reagan numbers, not only by winning over the MAGA crowd, which he has complete control over, in my opinion, but also on top of that, a lot of independents and maybe even some liberals. The Democratic Party is done. The next wave of fascism is here. Like the more accelerated version of fascism is here. He actually does unironically put the mass deportations regime in place. That's what I'm afraid of.
He says he's running against me for president. I almost want to run for president just to debate Ted Cruz, because I think it would go about the way it went last time. And for my part, I deeply enjoyed it, which is why I've never tweeted about it. For Ted Cruz.
Tucker Carlson versus Gavin Newsom is unlimited Tucker Carlson victory, by the way. Like, okay, they're gonna be like, but Gavin Newsom is like pro-gay. Gavin Newsom will signal that he's like also in favor of, limiting the pro-trans sentiment from his side because he wants to appeal to the mythical moderate center. Oof. Tucker Carlson's like, you're Israel first. You're an attack dog. You're a lapdog for Israel. I can't even tell what your positions are. One day you say Israel's an apartheid. You get a boss call from all of the Israel lobbyists. And next day you come out and you say, actually, Israel's not an apartheid. Americans need someone who actually can stand on moral principles. And as a Christian, I think genocide is unconscionable. What's going on? You see, Tucker, you're being quite anti-Semitic. No, I love Jews. I love Jews. I can't stand what Israel has done to my Jewish friends. What's going on? Ronald Reagan victory condition, okay? Spoiler alert. Gavin Newsom doesn't win that battle. Tucker Carlson wins that battle.
Everybody knows the only reason we're having this war is because Israel wants it. This is their last chance, they believe. This presidency is the last presidency where they're going to have unequivocal bipartisan support.
This is why I've been trying to urge Democrats, both behind closed doors and publicly, to take a stronger stance against Israel. Okay? You cannot have a guy like Tucker Carlson lead the conversation on Israel. The Democrats, as a national party, have to universally oppose Israel. If you don't do that, a guy like Tucker Carlson, who has been leading the conversation for normies on the issue of Israel, will come out and destroy you. You can't play catch up by the time the election comes around where you're like, oh, well, we also want to do defensive weapons to Israel, but no offensive weapons. No, you'll fucking lose. You'll lose. 100%. Whoever is first to market with a convincing and earnest anti-Israel position will win. It does not matter how much AIPAC is spending right now. Even Nita Allam is a great example of this. A short-lived campaign that came out of nowhere, okay? Was almost capable of taking out a multiple-term incumbent, Valerie Foushee, that was getting the backing from every party instrument, and also on top of that, was getting getting support from AIPAC subsidiaries too. And yeah, I do think a lot of It pains me to say this, but I think a lot of leftists would vote for Tucker Carlson over Gavin Newsom. Yes. I think a lot of normies would vote for Tucker Carlson over Gavin Newsom. 100%. Yeah. I'm fearful of this reality.
Period. You can't
make Tucker Carlson be the convincing anti-Israel guy. This takes time. Democrats are already losing this battle.
Every Thomas Massey, and there's a whole army of them coming at some point because everyone can see what's going on. And you can shut down X, and you can shut down the internet. You can be like Great Britain and arrest people who protest Israel, but attitudes are not going to revert to what they were 5 years ago. Sorry. And they know this. So this is their last chance.
He's right, by the way. He is completely right on this. The real issue here is that Tucker is the one saying it. Why aren't Democrats the ones saying it? Why are Democrats running away from other Democrat-adjacent content creators who are saying it? People like myself. Think. You need to lean into this. This is where the base is, across the fucking board. You're never going to win the evangelical right that has unlimited appetite for death and destruction over there and love Israel, okay? If you listen to AIPAC lobbyists, if you listen to pro-Israel lobbyists and people with a tremendous amount of influence capabilities that are constantly making phone calls anytime a Democrat says anything about Israel, so then you have to like manage your rhetoric around this issue in a way that doesn't offend these fucking psychos, you are giving ground to a right-wing populist, just like Donald Trump did initially. This was the pre-October 7 election, right? Donald Trump won, I mean, where Democrats were so predisposed with a pro-corporate sentiment that was supposed to be like responsible governance that Donald Trump was able to come out and look like a more moderate figure than he actually was on a lot of issues, on issues that Americans care about, right? Like, I'm not going to touch Medicare. I'm not going to touch Social Security. I'm not going to do wars. These were all moderate positions from a Republican that most Republicans had never heard of. That's why he was able to win so much favor with like normies and low propensity voters. You can't defeat that with wishy-washy, middle of the ground bullshit, middle of the road bullshit. You can't defeat that kind of narrative. You only allow your opposition to lie about their positions if you are not making a convincing argument. If you're not even interested in making a convincing argument, if you're not even interested in hearing why they are popular. This is why Kamala Harris lost. And this is precisely why, if Tucker Carlson actually runs for office, he will come out of that primary the victor, 100%, and he will defeat the overwhelming majority of Democrats right now as they stand. And yes, that even includes, like, you know, left flank Democrats as well. Unless they dramatically change their the way that they communicate about these issues, specifically, you know, be unshakable, be more convincing in your advocacy. Don't do this like wishy-washy shit.
What's so amazing is that Israel, which at least is acting in what it perceives to be its own national interest, is joined by its shills in the United States, of course. But really, its only other ally in this is the American news media, whose job it is to tell you the truth and inform you as to what's happening, to tell you, hey, wake up. The world could be changing, and it's going to affect you and your family. That's their job. And instead, they've been lulling you to sleep with the same variety of transparent lies and propaganda.
Yeah. Who's fighting harder against this war, Tucker Carlson or Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries? Not close, right? It's embarrassing to have Democratic leaders outflanked on the anti-war position by some on the right. Democratic leaders are pathetic, controlled opposition, useless, right? And there's truth to what Jank is saying, but there's also truth to what Edgar Mentum is saying. So are you going to ever mention that there's absolutely no anti-war constituency whatsoever among the MAGA right? Or are we just going to play dolls with influencers and TV hosts forever? To which I responded with, I think about this a lot. Tucker's platform is large, and I always assumed it was MAGA. But 85% of MAGA loves the Iran war. Does this mean that independents and Dems are watching Tucker now? Is MAGA still watching him and just simply disagreeing? Matthew Hasan says, I know lots of normies who watch Tucker now for his anti-war, anti-Israel content, which is true. I see it too. I'll get on a plane sometimes, and the motherfucker sitting next to me is watching Tucker Carlson. Now, of course, I'm sitting in business, so maybe that's the reason, but it's still crazy that I'm just seeing it out in the fucking wild, right? I don't see Tucker as a realistic populist candidate for the right in 2028, just neocons and losers and probably fucked after Trump. Tucker Carlson is the only path for salvation for the right. Maybe J.D. Vance might have a shot at it, but much more limited shot at it. Tucker Carlson is the true spiritual successor of the MAGA movement. He is the only one who is capable of carrying the base. I fucking said that for the last decade almost, okay? I've been saying that nonstop. I've been warning about Tucker Carlson since 2016. He is one of the most dangerous right-wing figures in this country. JD Vance is awfully quiet lately. That's because he has ambitions for 2028 and he knows to shut the fuck up right now. Because if he was held responsible for what's going on right now, there's a horrifying reality for his prospects, for his 2028 prospects.